are entering E&C's Pod of Awesomeness.
Well, it looks like I'm going to start off this week because you're out of breath for some reason. Yeah, what are you out of breath for?
Well, I was just running up the stairs with my wolfhound, my Siberian Husky Tundra. He came up to the apartment with me. I got a Guyaki yerba mate in the old system in the gas tank already, and
So
I'm a mover and a shaker, Birdman. I'm just I'm trading stocks. I'm talking to politicians.
Yeah.
Ooh, now I'm talking to you.
Oh, you're also.
But you started it.
You're also talking to Sports Illustrated. I see. I received a tweet.
What?
Yeah, that for some interview you did with Sports Illustrated on the
troll
on this show Vikings or something that you did.
It's Vikings.
Vikings. And somebody asked you the question: would your character, what's his name, KG Flatnose?
KG Etel.
Yeah,
Flatnose
would not be friends with Christian. He would chop him up with an axe.
Well, it was actually hack him to death with
an axe. Yeah. So first of all, let's get one thing straight. All right, KG Muto Flatnose would be. He would like follow me around like a lost puppy dog, asking me to use friend. Because like, let's be honest, he could use the rocket strap, right? I mean, I could take him from whittling around these axes. I'd put together a good axe routine for him. Shoot him right to the top of the Vikings food chain. But now that he said those things about me, it makes me want to just fucking grab him by his fucking bootstraps. First of all, I would show up dressed up like Berserker with furry boots on and the Viking helmet myself, and I'd fucking grow a big bushy beard, and I'd walk around going, huss, 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 and I'd drag him by the bootstraps through a ditch up to Enya's front porch. I'd knock on her door. She wouldn't answer. Enya wouldn't answer. I would kick the door open, pull her up to the balcony. I would pick him up for an atomic drop, but I would drop him over the balcony, and I would get the count-out victory, just like Berserker used to do to all of his opponents. And I would stand there going, huss, huss. And then when you try to ambush me from behind, I'd move out of the way. I'd bend you over that balcony edge, and I'd just slap your ass, laughing, singing Enya songs.
I was going to say, what is Enya doing during all this? Like, is she just standing there in a velvet dress? And
no, she's playing piano.
Away. So this is what would actually happen is Shetel, he's a Viking, and there, maybe not plentiful food around. So what he would do is he would take you by your berserker beard and your furry boots. He would grab them, fold you backwards, tie them together in a knot, and then stomp repeatedly on your abdomen until you shit out your intestines. And then he would tie you up by your short intestine and cook your mangy little bird body over the fire, and then pick what little meat you have off your bones, and he'd be fed for like 3 hours.
Oh man!
And then he would smack your ass. He'd slap that ass with an axe.
Wouldn't. That's my gimmick, first of all. And you know what, KG Muto?
It could be KG Muto Etel Flatnoses.
And here's the thing. I find it upset that you didn't know what Enya you were doing. Of course, she'd be standing there playing guitar while she watched me slap your ass on the.
She plays guitar.
Yeah.
Huh. I didn't know that.
No. So.
I'm sure she does, though. She's Enya.
Yeah. Anywho.
So I'm back in the States, Bird. I'm now officially back like a week and 2 days.
Yeah, you were back last week when we talked when I was on the phone. Now I'm back on the headset, brother. Heard the way I'm supposed to be heard. Yeah.
It's nice. It's super, super. Oh, it's good. It's good to be back.
Good family time.
I just keep getting snuggles and hugs, and girls just crawling all over me, and we're putting up Christmas trees and ornaments and watching the Grinch and singing the Grinch, and then I get asked to be the Grinch, and then when I try to talk like me, it's like no, be the Grinch. Okay, so then I'm the Grinch a little bit more, and then it's like no, be Jack Skellington. It's like okay. Basically, I guess they just don't like me. Yeah, that's what it boils down to.
You know what the holidays are always good for, especially when they fall on when wrestling shows fall on the day of like a certain holiday, is that show is just going to be like a themed. It's not going to be really taken seriously because they know that people will be spending time with families and stuff, so they'll just do some like crazy like fucking battle
it's
royal
like
or
the
something.
Thanksgiving turns into a food fight, and
Yeah.
Christmas turns into Santa Claus hitting a DDT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Oh,
times.
and we laughed.
Yeah.
Oh, bird.
Yeah.
So, what's coming up on the old the birdar for you, huh? What do you got for these holidays? What's going on for the holidays?
Well, we're staying here because we've decided. I've been doing some appearances lately, and we're also actually we're coming up there to your neck of the woods for a little bit, and then we're gonna come home, and we're gonna have family come down here and just be chilling. You know,
There you go. Hey, so Tommy, out of nowhere, texted me this week, and he's like, "One man gang's hot at Jay."
Oh yeah, no.
I was like, okay, first of all, that sentence texted to me, I want to save for posterity's sake.
Yeah.
The fact that one man gang is hot at the Birdman.
That's great.
Which in turn also means Akeem is hot.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I guess there's a little mix up. When I came in for this appearance,
Okay.
No, it's a legit thing. The people that were putting on the appearance, when I got to the hotel, my flight was delayed. I got in kind of late. They were there in the lobby, and I said, "What time do you need me down here tomorrow?" And they said, between 10:15 and 10:30 would be good. I said, "Okay." So I was texting with Tommy in the morning, and he's like, "Where are you?" Blah blah blah. Da da da. I was like, "I'm leaving my room like right now. Why?" "You're late, and the one man gang's hot at you, and he's in the lobby." And I was like, "Okay." So I leave. I look at my watch, and it's like 10:22 as I'm leaving my room, which is between 10:15 and 10:30. I walked down to the lobby. I was in the lobby at 10:26. So technically, I was on time.
Were you the last one there?
No. Of course not.
You paused. There was a long meow.
Well, I don't know who else was. I didn't even know that's who was going to be in my traveling caravan to the thing, so I didn't even know. But
Caravan.
we cleared it up. We did a little Akeem dance, and all was good in the world.
Okay.
Yeah. That's cool, though, man. I enjoy, too. I mean, to meet guys like that, and I've met One Man Gang a couple times before, but, anytime you get a chance to see those guys, it's very cool because, we're lifelong wrestling fans. Those are guys we grew up watching. So, it's cool to interact, talk.
Here's
tell a couple
an
stories.
odd question. Who haven't you met from the industry that you would have liked to or would like to that you haven't?
Man. Who? Man, I don't know. You go first. I can't think right now.
Luthez.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
That'd be a fun one. I
would be
think
a fun
that would
one.
be just an interesting one to
Yeah.
sit and listen to that,
Yeah.
I mean, man, what else do you say?
I think Andre the Giant would have been awesome.
Ooh, good call.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, okay, yeah, that's a good one too. Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
either way, just put them both in a room and just hit record.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been cool,
Our
man.
podcast.
Yeah. And to think about too, and I've talked about it. I don't know if I talked about it on this podcast before or not, but the first kind of emotional connection we've talked about, having an emotional connection, or having the audience or your fans have an emotional connection to a character or a storyline, is what really kind of starts to take it to the next level. And the first time I remember being emotionally invested in a wrestler or a storyline was when Andre the Giant had his hair cut. And I remember I was at home and I had a broken shoulder, and I wasn't allowed to go outside and play with my friends or my brothers. So I was kind of stuck in. That's when I kind of discovered wrestling. So I'd sit in there for like 8 weeks and just watch wrestling by myself until my arm was healed up. And I remember it was Andre the Giant and SD Jones against Big John Studd and Ken Patera. and they got disqualified, and they roughed him up after, and they both double slammed Andre, which I couldn't believe I was seeing, and then they cut his hair, and I'm like, somebody's going to stop this, right? Somebody's going to stop it, and they didn't stop it, and they were just this giant guy that was unconscious that got beat up by two guys, and they were just cutting his hair and embarrassing him in front of these people, and I remember I was standing up, and I had my hands on my face like the kid in Home Alone, like couldn't believe this was happening, and that was the first emotional connection that I had anything wrestling wise, and so to sit there and actually be able to have a conversation with Andre and let him know how that impacted me as a kid, and then later kind of carrying that with me, and remembering that feeling that I had in my body,
Your bowels.
trying to invoke that into when I was putting matches together. Okay, how would the audience connect to this? How would they feel if I did this or did this to somebody, or if this was being done to me? Pulling from that moment at all times, and how much that impacted not only my childhood at that time, but for later on in my career,
Well, and think about that too. You have Andre, who was massive, a legit giant, 7'4", whatever, 500 pounds, whatever he was, a giant, an absolute giant of a man. I've held his wrestling boots. They're bigger than my head. I got a big head. And he was able to get sympathy.
Yep.
Think about that. That dude was able to get sympathy, because I remember that too, and going, oh no, like feeling sorry for Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
That physically shouldn't be possible, but it was because he was awesome. And it just goes to show that anybody can get sympathy on them and can get heat on them, if it's done right. And also, obviously, Stud and Patera, we're able to get that heat too. But yeah.
And speaking of people that are able to do that, kind of leads to our guest this week, right?
It does, in a completely different way of doing it, by bumping like a fiend. Our guest this week is the old Dolph-O-Matic. Dolph Rooney. The old. Do you got anything else?
Nope, not really. I mean, but sums it up. I feel like we need to rocket strap him, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Want to rocket strap Ziggs, huh?
Yeah.
We know him as Nemeth, as Nick, but I think we still call him Dolph. It's one of those weird instances where,
it's one of those things where I'm really good friends with him, but I never call him by his real name, ever. It's almost the point where whenever I call him by his real name, he starts to laugh. You know what I mean?
Because it's weird.
Yeah.
Like, why would you call him?
Yeah, I just always called him Dolph. Always. I've never think Nicky, Ricky, Cherry, and Larry, and Dolphy, and we're the Spirit Squad, brother.
But we'll talk to him about where he's come from, the gimmicks that he's been saddled with, and where he's gotten himself to in his career, and where he's at now, where he sees himself going. It's hard with these because of schedules and everything, and because you don't want this thing to last 3 hours. Sometimes it feels like we just, kind of scrape the surface with folks, and it's just so hard to get, as in depth as you want to and as you could. Just because, I can't sit there and listen to a 3-hour podcast. I don't got time.
We're asking people to be generous with their time, right? And, they're very busy individuals as well. And as much as it's fun for us to hang out and have a conversation and catch up with these guys, they have other stuff going on, guys and girls, so it's, we appreciate it, man.
Yeah, and there's also that element of you're talking to your friend, and maybe you haven't talked to them in a couple of months because with the way that schedule is, it's crazy. And, for anyone who's in the grind, I've always said you could not see someone for 2 years and it feels like 2 months. Yeah. You're just like, hey, man, what's up? And you just pick up from where you left off. So there's a little bit of that, too, when you talk to these folks, fine folks, for the first time in a little bit. Yeah. But I digress, Bird. It's probably time to get to the damn interview. It's probably time for us to quit jaw jacking, to quit flapping our excessive gums, our gingivitis all over the place. What was that? What was that stupid rap you used to say?
Oh, we can walk on coals and have ninjas fight us, but be sure not to get gingivitis.
Yep. Apropos of nothing. Yeah, I don't know why I thought of that, but there you go, Bird.
Yeah. always, dental hygiene is very important. So keep that in mind before we talk to Dolph Ziggler.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Dolph, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
What's up, brother?
And so it begins. This is going to be so stupid.
Oh, God.
Just so you
I
know,
blame you, too.
we're super hard hitting, and we're trying to get we're going to try to get a lot of insider dirt, brother.
Oh, sick. Well, I got it. I got it to spill.
Oh yeah, you got some hot news, huh?
You're full of the dirt, huh?
All of it.
You're like a fucking Motley Crue book.
God, I wish. I wish I was that good.
See,
Yeah.
I knew you'd love that reference. That was strictly for you.
Thanks, buddy.
No.
What's going on?
Hey, what's up with you guys?
Nothing, man. I haven't talked to you for a while.
Nothing at all?
Yeah, I mean, a little this, a little that. You know,
Jay just went for a jog.
I did. Yeah.
Wait, not on a treadmill like in real life?
No, yeah, real life. Run down the street, wave to my neighbors. So what's up,
So
brother?
you're
As
like
I ran by.
you're like the Rocky, the Florida's Rocky.
Yeah, pretty much. Call people
He's
With a
Tampa Bay.
better jab.
Yeah, and then all the fucking marks, they follow me around the neighborhood. They're running, they toe behind me up the stairs. I
All the
dance in
marks
front.
and cats follow you through town square.
Yeah,
I mean, you have a longer reach. I mean, that's
Yeah.
proven, but still, I mean, it's still pretty good.
yeah. And then I'm like, come on, follow me, you fucking marks. I wave them on. You know.
See, I told you,
excellent.
hard hitting, man. We
Yeah.
try
Yeah.
and get all the scoops here. So, hey, where are you? What city are you in? What city are you populating right now?
I love that you said it 3 different ways, so I had a second to figure out where the hell I was. I am in Lexington, Kentucky.
Wow.
Oh, the Rupp Arena, brother.
Rupp Arena.
Oh,
Yeah,
let
you
me tell you
get it.
something about Rupp Arena, brother. Oh, I've been there many a times, Dolph Ziggler. Squeak, squam, squeak, squam.
My daddy always said,
Yeah.
back in the
So
Louisville Gardens, my daddy always said that,
Yeah. We
I
talked.
remember I worked the Rupp and they were hanging from the rafters. It was me and Umaga against Hurricane and the Great Khali.
Well,
oh my God, that's great.
I don't know how well known this is. We probably talked about it before that we rode together for a long time. I think it started with Tommy when I came back, brother, and then also the kid Zach Ryder, who's been lobbying hard to get on this podcast.
Oh, what a
which
mark.
He's been, we've been holding off on him just so he gets upset about it. He texts me
Yeah,
every week.
let's say
Goes,
it's
really, he was really so and so before me. Like he gets really offended about it. But we talked about on this pod before too about doing things to keep yourself entertained while on the road, and that was one of the things we did for a long time, where we would randomly do like old school guy promo, but then somehow we dub in Jericho's music at the end of it. The squeak, squam, squeak, squam. And like,
And he'd say, whatever town you're in, like say this arena's on High Street. You're like, I was walking down High Street this afternoon, brother.
Yeah.
And I'm pop for it.
Yeah.
And I heard that
they told me the best place to
Jericho
get a
said the
steak.
Rupp Arena's filled with idiots, brother.
And actually, at one, I think in Corpus Christi, I think I actually cut that promo on a live event in the ring to try to get a
Did you
pop
do it with the
Mondo.
squeeze squall? Squeeze squall?
I didn't do the squig squam at the end, but I went, I was walking down whatever the main street was outside, and like, there was a tidal wave coming down the beach, brother, and I said, open up the doors at the back of the building. It's gonna. And I just did this whole like weird promo about it, like nobody knew what was going on, but I was just trying to get a pop in the monitor. So, but yeah, the
Good
things we do
times.
yeah. Well,
Bird.
that's all we got.
Yeah. Well,
All right, well,
the
good
reason,
talking to you, buddy.
Yeah, it was good talking to you guys. I gotta call my stockbroker real quick. I would say the riding together with everybody always came back to Tommy, because I rode with Tommy, and then Tommy and Jay, and then Tommy went away, and then it was me and Jay, and then it was me, Jay, Adam, and then Jay went to a different side or something. It was me and Adam, and then I feel like Tommy came back, and then like it went from me, Adam, Glenn to me, Glenn. All 7 degrees of brothercation or whatever.
Here's what it is. Tommy is the gelatinous fatty glue that holds all of us together.
Yeah,
that's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, well, we had the kid too in there with us for the longest time. And then somehow the Miz got squeaked in there every now and again too, towards the end of my run. So there was a lot of times it was the four of us. I remember this one time, and you guys will both remember this. Somehow the four of us ended up in some hotel room. I think it was a DoubleTree in San Jose. It was right before we were leaving to go to WrestleMania.
That's a song title, by the way. The DoubleTree in San Jose. Like,
I don't know what we were doing, but we were in. I think you were room with Zach, and we were in your guys' room, and we were sitting on the beds with plastic cups, antioxidizing, which means enjoying a bottle of red wine, and somehow. The kid, he's very, Zack Ryder, he's weird, right? He's a weird kid. And he's a weirdo. He gets neurotic about certain things, and so his laptop was sitting there, and I threatened to pick it up. I didn't even make a motion for it. And we all were sitting there with our wine. He jumped off the bed, grabbed it, did a complete back roll off the bed, landed on his hands and knees, came up hugging the laptop, breathing heavily, and we're all just sitting there sipping our wine, looking at him like, what the fuck just happened? And do you guys remember that?
He's got some strange stuff on there, guaranteed.
The best part was he's such an athlete that when you like flinched from a bed away, sitting there, and he dove and fell off the bed with it, that he knocked it to the ground to where it smacked and seemed like it broke, but then came up with it in his. Yeah. So he's the one who almost broke his computer protecting it from nothing.
Yeah.
My favorite part is that you're like all the I'm sure there's a bunch of Attitude Era stories that start like, hey, we're at the Radisson or at the Ramada here. Like we were sitting there quietly sipping wine, talking to each other, and Ryder broke his own neck. Yeah, out of plastic cups.
Out of Solo cups, and Ryder's computer became the focal point of the conversation. Yeah. Party.
Yeah. Oh, man.
God.
Oh, yeah.
He's just as weird now, just so you guys know. But he wears a suit at TVs now, so I don't know if he's getting groomed to be like an agent or something. Or
is it purple? And does he wear an orange shirt?
There's a lot of. He has a lot of suits now. I think there's a suit guy that goes around here, but there is purple that is oftentimes almost I'm trying to think a H&M slim fit version of a Michael Hayes kind of costume that you would get.
I love the H&M.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because the kid ain't dropping any money on it. So
not he'll go somewhere in between. Yeah. We're talking tops $150.
Yeah. I can't say too much bad about him because he did house my family during the hurricane. We seeked refuge at his house, and it was very funny seeing him interact with my daughter. It was so funny. He had no idea what to do. It was the best.
My God.
And she wouldn't leave him alone.
The kid with all the toys who has childlike wonder in his eyes at 35 years old would be able to interact with a child.
Because you want to know why? He's the awkward, weird kid. That's why.
No, but the best was he was scared with her playing with his toys because he didn't want her to ruin them.
Oh no!
So the toy room was off limits. That was the one room she wasn't allowed to go in. But the best she was all over him though. Like when he sat down, she was on his lap. She sat beside him. She talked to him, and he was so weird he didn't know what to do. But it was pretty funny. Yeah, it was awesome.
He's like, I bet you think toys are for playing with, huh? Yeah, you'll figure it out one day. Yeah.
And then he started explaining to her how this one rubber figure he paid $10,000 for. She's like,
"Oh God,
poor kid."
So what's new with you, buddy?
It's an investment. What's new with me? Jeez, I don't know. Doing some wrestling here and there.
Yeah,
the usual.
So I saw the other night you were the recipient of an enforcer spine buster at Starcade, brother, in Greensboro,
Unreal.
North Kakalaki.
Yeah, that had to be
How was that?
it was amazing. And here's my favorite part. Like, first of all, I walked in and I think maybe 3 months ago when we found out like this live event was going to be called Starrcade, I was like, oh, cool. And they're like, hey, you're working Bobby Roode. This is like 3 months ago. I'm like, it'll probably change by then, but who knows? But maybe I'm booked. And so I asked somebody, I got these cool, like, douchey, like, track guy sunglasses on, and I go, hey, man, I asked, like, the social media kid to, like, hold a microphone. I called him Shivani. I yelled at the top rooftops, like, getting ready, like, for Starrcade, just assuming I wouldn't even be part of it. And it was so fun thinking about it. And I walk into Starrcade, and Flair's there, of course. And social media Nikki goes, hey, you two guys should cut a promo. Ready? Okay, you do it. And then he comes in. I'm like, what? Okay. So I kind of cut like a Ric Flair promo in Greensboro in the arena next to Flair, threw it to Flair. He finished it off, and it was so cool. And then meanwhile, I got to go out, and Bobby Roode and I had plenty of time to tear it down. And the Enforcer was out there, and he just did a couple subtle things that turned the entire crowd, and you forget like all those time when everyone's telling you, go slow with some stuff, and he just pushed a foot off the rope halfway through the match, and we both sat there, and the place went nuts. And then the best part is I exhausted every false finish I could. I roll outside. I go to get a chair. He stops me, and I'm about to punch Arn Anderson in the face, and this is the greatest thing. I'm sitting here. I'm like, please, somebody take a picture of this because I don't know if this will happen again or if it ever did. And I popped him. He went down. I rolled inside with the chair, blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, he rolls into the ring like a bear cub. Like, he was on the ground, and I turned to Charles. I'm like, you don't tell me what to do. And I already sensed a body behind me, like, roll in like a cat that, like, landed from a rooftop to the ground and rolled to their feet. And I go, holy crap, he's already in the ring. I go, how do you do that? So just the unreal thing, and then just turning around and looking at him, and it was so cool. Hit me with the spine buster, and it was perfect. Didn't practice, didn't run through. I'm like, his body's gonna know it, and it was awesome. And what a special night. I thought that was very cool.
And the roof came off the place, brother.
Well, they were already.
You tore it down and built it back up, brother. That's a new quote. So you hit him. You hit him in the ear, and he did the classic double arm ear grab, the classic Arn Anderson sell when he took a punch. I was like, yes.
Oh, I love that. It was great. And I go, hey. I got him too. So you don't think I'm not going to take that spine buster and get a little something, for the Gratitude Era guys out here, Yeah,
that's right, brother.
Gratitude Era.
The question for you. So you were talking about how it was just a house show, a live event. Then a few months ago, found out it was going to be Starrcade. There's certain live events that feel different. Was there definitely a different feel from your regular show there with that whole audience, with the vibe, with the name? Was it an actual different feeling?
And even before Arn was like, I knew he was going to be there, but like the crowd didn't know the deal. They just knew we had a match, and Roode and I work all the time. And backstage, even before like the special guest starts filling in, and Steamboat shows up and Rock and Roll shows up, there was already like this, like it in the weirdest way had this feel to like a couple hours before WrestleMania. And you guys know me, I'm bitter. I'm over it. I don't give a damn about anything. I really don't care. I don't get excited about anything. And I was just going, wow, this is friggin' cool. And that's before we got to go out, and Roode and I were first. So the crowd was hot. It was a good house, which is most important. But it was like they were great and fun. And it was like, this is a special thing. And you could feel it because we were kind of playing off each other and hitting each other. It's a little bit harder because you could feel everything that was special. And one of the coolest things before I went out there is Ricky and Robert, Rock and Roll Express, talked to me for a minute, like whatever. And whether they're just being nice or not, we love watching you. Like, that's awesome to hear as, someone who watched them growing up your whole life. But they go, it was right over here. They pointed to like the sink, like the drain in the shower is where the Horseman roughed up my face and scratched me all up, like, and left me laying to build like him versus Flair in a title match. And I go, whoa. And then Steamboat walks in, and maybe 10 minutes later and goes, back here, and this thing is where so-and-so jumped me. And I was just like, what a cool thing. Like, if you're a young up-and-coming guy, you're losing your mind. But like I said, you guys know me pretty well that I am over everything. And it was just special moment after special moment. And it was so fun. What a great night.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey,
it's
I tell you
cool.
what, I almost made the drive down too, and that would have just put the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Silence. Crickets. Yeah, I'm kind of used to you. We worked a bunch, so you know.
Yeah.
But then people might have mistaken you for Barry Windham, though. That's the thing.
I would have totally hit a
You get that a
superplex and a
lot?
lariat and put on the claw, brother.
Oh man.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I was running opposite you guys, brother. I was down doing the signing at WrestleCade, brother.
I think a lot of kind of the backstage, or half the people that were backstage, were across the way earlier and made their way over. Nice little double payday for some of those guys. Smart move.
Yeah.
Oh, you were running the Outlaw promotion, Jay.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Double dipping, brother.
Cool. I got out and got it.
Did you get the big guy's autograph while you were over there?
Who's the big guy?
Ryback.
Oh, Ryback. Yeah. I didn't even see him.
With the Ryback for wings afterwards. You should have came, man.
Yeah, I
He's
wish
a
I
good
did see
dude.
him.
I like him.
I do too. He's funny. I've always gotten along well with him, and we have a couple running gags. He and I do.
Who the hell is
who the fuck is Reeves? That was. You were like, you and I were talking at catering one day, and you're like, yeah, so me, telling the story, me and Reeves, and I let you finish the story. I was like, that's cool. Who the fuck is Reeves? And Ryback was sitting there eating, and he goes, yeah, that's me. So that was like another
You're
running
such
gag.
a dick.
Every time we'd see each other, I'm like, who the fuck is Reeves? But no, he's a good dude, man. Really funny guy.
Hey, I got a question, completely unrelated to anything. Have you two ever
Perfect.
worked each other?
Who?
me and Reeves or me and Jay?
No, you and Jay.
Yeah, we have.
Me and
brother.
Jay. Oh yeah, we. You know what? I'm trying to think. I don't know. I think maybe TV wise, there was only a tiny handful of like a triple threat or like superstar stuff. But live event loops, we ran a couple.
Yeah.
A couple months
Really?
probably at least.
Yeah.
Of like
Man,
maybe
I would've-
opening the
was I on
show.
a-
Yeah. We
Was that a
would.
different show? Because I would have really remembered that.
It might have been. I don't know. I'm just wondering if it's maybe after you retired, maybe. But there was a good couple month stretch where we worked a lot on live events, and then we did. Actually, you were involved in my very last match, Dolph. Were you
Really?
not?
Dolph?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Nick.
You made it seem like I did something bad.
No, I'm just saying.
Well, I probably got pinned. You're probably fine. Come on.
No, actually, I think you did. It was. I think it was me, Alberto, you, and no, one sec. Me, Alberto, Sheamus, and you. Yeah, right.
Jesus.
Fatal 4-way.
All right, that's all right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was you were actually involved in my very last match ever, brother.
Whoa.
Dang.
Yeah. So
Hey, you were involved in some of my last matches ever.
That's very true. Look at this.
Nemeth, they're Nikolai, they're Dolphorama, they're
Dolphin
Diglerific.
Ding Dong. Yeah, that's done.
well, we talked about before too about Adam was in a position of. He'd wrestled a lot of the top names.
I had stroke, is what you're about to say.
Yeah, I'm trying to put you over for once, right? So you
Take
had
the
the
damn compliment. Jeez.
yeah, you had the ability to help guys, and you were in the position to tell the powers that be, like, hey, I want to work with this guy, and I'd like to help this guy, or I see something in this guy. And one of the guys was Dolph, and you've talked about it on this before, where you really wanted to have a series of matches with him, and especially before you retired, and you did end up getting to have that. Dolph, what was your feeling when you had those series of matches? Like, was that something that really helped you out? Obviously, it was something you were looking forward to, but what was your thoughts on those series of matches you had?
Well, it's really cool because for the longest time, for about 5-6 years worth, Miz, myself, Kofi, and a handful of other guys were doing like a bunch of media, and I was getting the same 4 questions every time, the same stuff. And they're like, "Oh, wasn't this match cool? Was this match winning the world title, doing this stuff?" I go, "Yeah," but like the really cool, meaningful one was having a world title match with Adam at the Rumble, opening the show, tearing it down, and in a little bit of like I was kind of taken seriously, but also half like Vicky's boy toy that doesn't really get taken too seriously. But we had done, promos leading up to it and different things. And having that match, I was like, well, it's cool because it's a title match at a major pay-per-view, blah, blah, blah. I was like, well, we used to ride together for, you know, a really long time. And that's what makes it, like, really special because you're buddies, you learn stuff in the car, you learn stuff on the road, and then you actually get to apply it in, like, a huge match. And my favorite part was, like, it was so fun and cool. And usually I'm the one making people look like $1 million. We both did, to where I hate it that Stryker's on the commentary, which really bums me out because I like him. But the best part was the last 12 or 13 minutes of that match is false finishes and rolling around and selling. And everybody who at the first minute mark was like, oh, this guy's here to lose the edge. At about the 12-minute mark is like not chanting for me, but buying into false finishes more and more because of how good Adam was. And it's one of those times, like, throughout the course of a match, you realize that someone's good enough to be out there and holy crap, he might win this. And that's easy to do when you have months and months of TV and all these, you know, a Goldberg record or something. But when you don't, and that just goes to show how good Adam was to make that all happen throughout the course of a match. And that's why it's, like, really, really special.
Well, I mean, I appreciate that, but all I remember telling you beforehand, I was like, listen, this is Boston, and at some point they're going to get with you, and they're going to start cheering for you, and that's okay, you know, because you are the underdog in this thing. But my mentality with it was to, throughout the course of the match, have them going, holy shit, this could happen. Like they're gonna pull the trigger here and do this. And you had me in a hold. I was like, all right, let's roll with it. We got them. We're gonna get them by the end. Just they'll be right where we want them. And I remember just kind of settling in and you know, getting those first couple of spots and going, okay, here we are. Then we're good. It's exactly how I pictured it in my brain, how it sounded in my brain, all of those things. And you know, Jay's right. I did. You know, Michael Hayes was asking me, who do you want to work? I was like, Dolph. And then they'd come back to me, who do you want to work? I was like, Dolph. And then they'd come back to me again. I'd say, it's still Dolph. It's not going to change.
Like, no, seriously, who do you want to work?
Yeah, no, so we got these locals lined up. Are you sure? Yeah.
just watch. And I remember walking through the curtain in the back, and Nash was the first guy. He goes, good luck anybody following that. and then you know, I went straight up to Vince. I was like, he's good, man. He's good. He's really good. And then I just left it at that. And then,
man.
That was the, you know, I wish we'd had more opportunities to have matches like that. That was kind of our one shot at it, instead of like, you know, like you get awarded the title and that night we switch it back and all of that stuff. That's cool, fine, whatever. But that to me was the one that, you know, we got a chance to really, you know, try and, you know, show everybody what you got.
Yeah, that was, I would say, and there's only one other thing. It's not exactly the same, but you'll know better than me. It's a live event, but I feel like maybe it's a street fight. And I want to say it's Canada, and you dropping me in the corner, almost Shattered Dream style, and slap shotting Waffles with as they were hockey pucks, and
it was
scoring
in Toronto
on multiple times. Yes, I knew it.
So Jay, I don't know if you were there for this.
No,
we had a street fight in Toronto, and I was like, "Hey, is there any Eggos back here?" So they went out. The runner went out and got some Eggos, and they weren't quite frozen, and so they were kind of floppy. But this is one opportunity where I will pat myself on the back with my hockey skills, is that even with a floppy Eggo, I can still hit a sweet snapshot to Dolph Ziggler's nether regions while sitting in a corner. Just
fantastic.
saying.
I remember I had you check me into the boards for one outside the ring, which made my day. And then I couldn't believe, I was blown away by the accuracy of the not quite frozen waffles. Well done.
Yeah. Good times.
I mean, had Jay been there, he would have blocked them all, clearly.
Yeah. Well, I was going.
Jay
superior
would have fanned on the
goalkeeper.
shot and broke his stick.
Yeah.
That's what would have happened there.
I think he would have been standing on his head after that match, brother.
That's what they say.
Oh, he would have been
brother.
making the stops. I got you.
That's hockey lingo. I don't know if you.
Yeah, I don't know if you other marks know what this was. That's hockey lingo.
So would he be a lake monster, or is that what they call your team is called there, Dolph?
Lake
Monsters?
yeah.
Lake Monsters?
They went from Lake Erie Monsters. Now that Cleveland is basically the city of champions now. We switched it to
Even
last
you
year
have to
the
laugh at that.
Cleveland Monsters. I am.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I mean, what did we? Are the Colander Cup winners? I forget what the cup was called.
Calder
Cup.
Yeah.
Colander. That's where you sent noodles in to make spaghetti. That's right. And Jock Colander, one of the most famous IHL Cleveland Lumberjacks of all time.
That's right. That was a great name too. That was
great.
Yeah. So not speaking of hockey anymore, you talk about, how you were used to being the guy in a match that makes that kind of is the glue that you're known to go out there and be able to pull a match out of anybody. And, I was much the same way. Adam was the same way. Sometimes though, you get stuck in the, I don't want to say quote unquote good hand, but like more of a workhorse rule where, sometimes you get passed by as far as, oh, this guy's going to be all right because he's so good. Let's work on this person or this performer or this superstar first. Do you take a lot of pride? Do you take pride in the fact? Or do you look at it kind of as a blessing and a curse? Or what are your thoughts on your style or how your career has gone?
I see it both ways. Like, I don't know. I'm not a giant guy, so maybe. Yeah. Maybe in some other world, I would have worked here for a year and a half as a caddy and a cheerleader, and then went away.
Right.
But so I see the positive. Like, hey, man, I've been here for 12 years, almost always regularly on TV.
Right.
But I think at a point that becomes a burden of not going away, of always getting passed over. You get passed over a handful of times for a couple of years, then you start to have like more of a cult following, and it gets hot. But after a couple of years of not having the trigger pulled, and the 8-year-old kids now know that you're in that role, I noticed in the last 2 years that even my live event matches are a little hard for me to do my job, because when I come out and a 10-year-old kid goes, I know you're losing, and you go, oh, crap. Because it's one thing to have, 40-year-old guys going, I know what's going to happen. That's fine. I'm here, to put on a show. And we still have fun, but when you get in that role and you miss like years of not going with it, it becomes a burden. Now my job of making somebody that should be ready for a world title picture becomes harder, and it's not as much as a shove. And like, if you see the last 6 months, year of TV, there's basically I am a gatekeeper to the guys from NXT coming up who they have high expectations for. But if I lose for 8 consecutive months before they show up, they're no longer getting like that pat on the back for me to go up a notch. So I feel like it's almost taking back from my role. So, I don't know what the change would be to either, switch things up, disappear here and there, or I've said this to the boss on several occasions. I go, I've made a career out of almost never winning, which is awesome. I go, but at some point I have to be seen as someone who could win, not just like pulling a needle out of a haystack or a lottery ball out of the thing, and finally that be the night, because then it loses all that luster. So
yeah, there's something to be said for credibility, right? So it's you need that one credible win, which is I felt the same way at times in my career. It's like I need that one that's gonna be like, okay, he's credible, because the overall goal is to be able to make it that anybody that you're in the ring with, you make them. Like that's the same way that I was, because of same thing, similar size, the whole thing. You knew that it wasn't going to be able to be believable that you're going to go in there and be a world beater and stand toe to toe and fist fight everybody. You had to use other tactics or ways psychologically to beat somebody. So I get that, but yeah, the credibility is a really important thing, and sometimes when that goes away, it does make things hard.
Yeah, it really does. And I pride myself, even now, like last night, I had a hell of a live event. Bobby Roode and I opened the show. We're usually given free reign to go 15, 20, 25 if we want, because it's so good and fun. And they buy into it and they love it and have fun. It's just, it's not the same. You have to have, like, wins and losses don't matter. Mm-hmm. Unless you're the guy who loses every single night. And if you're that guy, then you should be maybe in the dark match, not fighting someone to see who goes to the world championship the next night. So, and even if you do pull that, rabbit out of the hat, people know that it's not long term, that you're not. So, but still, like I said, last night even, I had a fun 20-something minute match with Bobby Roode. We tore the house down. We're on first. Great spot. If you're not the champion, that's a hell of a spot to be in. And I can make 8 and 10-year-old kids believe that I'm walking out of there as the winner. And that is a pat on my back to myself. But it's also, he's really good. And you get to give him that little nudge at the end when he wins. It means something. And that is such a huge part that is missing in a bunch of areas of our business. But any chance I can do it, I do it.
So how do you feel now that, where you are in terms of, trying to elevate, and then, as you said, it being difficult some nights because of, what they see on TV? I mean, what do you think? How do you feel?
I hate it. But also I'm someone who, I hate that I'm not the champion. I hate that the show's not about me, because that's, the mentality you should have if you're in the business. Right. If you're there like, hey, I want to be that opening guy that works for 10 years and can save a bunch of money, that's great. But there's 1,000 other guys that are sitting in the back that say, I want to be the best. I want to main event WrestleMania. I want the show to be about me. And so you have to have that mentality, but also I've been around long enough to know the score, to know what's going on. So I hate being in that position. I think I should be a bigger part of the show, but so does everybody else. And not everybody else has proven that. So I feel like after a while, you proving it so much, even that becomes a thing like, hey, sorry, you have the curse of the worker. Or you're like, hey, you're kind of like our Shawn Michaels guy who can work with anybody, and it could seem like a main event somewhere. And I go, well, that shouldn't be a bad thing. But sometimes it is.
Well, it's. I just watched a clip of you yesterday, and I think it was you and
Mark.
Yeah, I was studying, brother. I was like, I gotta brush up on my Dolph. No, but it was. I forget it was somebody's Twitter feed. It wasn't yours. It might have been the Weirdos, but it was you and I don't even know who your opponent was or your partner was, because they weren't in there, but it was against Sheamus and Ryder, and you went to give Sheamus the zigzag, and he shrugged you off, and you somehow like double pumped in the air and got even more height on it and took this insane bump, fed up, took a Rough Rider. You bumped off the Rough Rider and were able to catch air and spin and land on your back again. It was ridiculous. I mean,
the Rough Rider, I've always been able to kind of that, and what's Hardy's thing where he grabs your head and arm and you go up and down, almost rock bottomy. I can kind of head spin on that one.
That's
Twist of Fate
thing. The other one.
Not
Side effect.
Yeah. That one. I could almost spin on my head a couple times. But yeah, with riders, I can always bounce up and do like a twist to it. But like that Sheamus thing, that was not planned that way. That just was me hanging on for dear life, and then him genuinely being Sheamus and popping his back like for real. And I kind of double pumped in the air. What a crazy thing! I remember that.
Yeah. It looked crazy, like, because he didn't look like he was quite expecting that timing. It was awesome, though.
Yeah, usually someone's by a rope, but sometimes you don't need it, brother.
Yeah. Don't need it with the Haas.
with the way that I mean, because we're talking about the way that you sell and you bump and that, and it's obviously very unique and athletic. Not everybody can do the things that you do. Was it something you consciously worked on, or was it just something that kind of happens? Like you feel it in the moment, or what's your? How did you kind of develop?
Sometimes it's in the moment, like at even just Starrcade a couple nights ago. Just normal things were like elevated because it was like almost like chills on my arm for a couple different positions of it, but also when it came to when I was trying to get back to TV after they canceled the Spirit Squad, I go, what are things that no one's doing? Okay, at the time, it was really cool to be Randy Orton. And by that, I mean short buzz cut, black trunks, almost Austin-y. And everybody was like smirking, but like everybody wanted to be tough. Everybody wanted to be straightforward. No one wanted to give anything. And I went, how can I stand out? I went pink trunks, dyed my hair blonde, and grew it out and said, okay, no one wants to do that. I go, I'll go above and beyond. And I started watching genuine boxing knockouts. And I would try and take, where your arms drop or your knees buckle. And I was trying to apply that only to finishers or like the strongest false finish of a match. Because at the beginning of my career, it was a bunch of stuff I was trying to be Mr. Perfect and just, do everything big. And I go, okay, hang on, we got to make things count. So only the biggest thing of the night would be a knockout and then the last thing. And so I would try different ones. And with Kofi for the longest time, he was hitting his Trouble in Paradise on me. I would try and spin. I would try and crumble. I would try and just stand there and drop my hands. And that just became everybody's signature and finisher moves. I wanted to have it seem like if you know the finish of this match and you've seen this finisher happen before, you think that I'm knocked out cold for real. And they go, oh. And I feel like I got that a bunch. So I genuinely, I don't watch a lot of tape, do a bunch of stuff. But I watched for years trying to make that look like in a movie if someone got hit with a baseball bat from behind and dropped or something.
So, you said perfect. And I remember watching you and I was like, oh, this guy definitely watched Perfect, definitely watched Sean. And you can tell those guys influenced you. And those were the guys that influenced me. I think they're the guys that influenced Jay. And, you sprinkle in Brett and a lot of these guys too. But you created your own thing in there. And I think that's always the key is, you can watch tapes when you're growing up. You can, kind of have your certain signposts of guys that you want to take things from. But what was the process once you worked your way through being a caddy and a fucking cheerleader? What you said you went the opposite of what everybody was doing because it was, cookie cutter, not cookie cutter, but everybody sees one thing work and then they want to try that. So beyond just, wearing pink and bleaching the hair and all of these things, what was your mentality going in there in terms of, from a character perspective?
Before I was character, I figured this time, if I get called up this time, I'm going to try and be me because I wasn't really a caddy or a cheerleader, believe it or not, but, committed to it.
Wait, you mean that wasn't really your cheer that you came up with? Ricky, Ronnie,
well, I mean, word for word.
Larry,
Jerry, and the Gimmick Boys.
We're the Spirit Squad, brother.
The Gimmick Boys.
So I figured, I didn't know if it was, I was hoping to be something like me, a douche that was, a hardworking at his job, whether you liked him or not. And so I went nuts. So at the time, I think it was illegal for us to be talking to Rip Rogers because there was some kind of falling out, but he gets training wrestling really amazingly. And so I was going in the mornings, I'd roll around with Mondo before and get an extra practice in. Then I would go to the practice for OVW. Then at night I would come in and do Rip Rogers class with people who were paying to go to the school. All of these things, I was trying to get 3 years of training into one so that if I could be so good and smooth that if I got called up one more time, that they would need me there, whether they were going with me or going with someone else, that they would need me to be in the ring with somebody. And I feel like that's what I accomplished because it was, okay, find what stands out. Got it. Be a good talker. Practice promos. Be a good chain wrestler. I can do different chain wrestling because I had an amateur background and I can throw in some different pins and holds. And then it was be good at taking comebacks. Be good at taking finishers. If everybody's punching each other back and forth and no one's going down, take one punch and crawl around. And that's a huge part of the Sean stuff that I got because I didn't study him too much move wise. I mean, I do a super kick, but that's homage to Lance Storm, clearly. But clearly. But he would take something and crawl around so much that you genuinely believed he was hurt, and then it's not crazy bumps, it's not flipping around. It was just crawling and begging for help, and like someone would almost as Jason's chasing somebody, through the woods. So I was trying to apply that into people just snapping around and coming back up and fighting each other, staying strong. So I really focused on the selling part, not so much the bumping, because I knew my body in a weird way. Maybe for doing sports for 25 years, that I could snap bump and pop up, but everybody was doing that. So it was, okay, I might have a 4-minute match. How can I make one thing look devastating and then make that mean much more? And then you start to realize, all the old timers are talking about when they said less is more, and you're like, I got it. I think I can make it work.
Right. Yeah, and I think one thing, too, that still stands out for me, and we've talked about a lot on this podcast, too, that selling is starting to become kind of a lost art form. Not kind of, it is. And it's kind of more becoming just registering stuff and moving along to the next thing instead of being in the moment and working for certain reactions rather than just going for the easy reaction from a big move, But it's interesting to me to hear like your kind of philosophy on it and how, like, I mean, you're a lifelong wrestling fan, and even even going back as far as you were starting amateur wrestling because you thought that would help you become a pro wrestler. So, I mean, yeah, that's true. That's accurate, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A quick thing that I tell anytime someone asks, I go, I went to a WWE show. It was WWF at the time, and I want to say it was Cleveland didn't have an arena, so we went out to the Richfield Coliseum, which you guys probably know from the first
Survivor Series, brother.
Yeah. So I went there for a live event, and it was King Harley Race versus Hulk Hogan in the main event, and that was my first show. And we sat in the nosebleed seats, and I told my dad, I want to be a wrestler, and he goes, okay. And a couple months later, at 5. I started wrestling, but I walk in the door and I go, where's the ropes? Dead serious. And he goes, it's a different deal. Here's how it is. It was once or twice a week, for an hour or two, no big deal, nothing crazy. And I got into it. And then as much as I stayed a fan, I actually started, wrestling. I was a little kid. I was really small. So it helped that there was weight classes because then I can actually compete with some stuff and, be good at it. And then as it went through, I was like grade school, high school. I had a coach that was the women's Olympic team coach, was one of our awesome coaches at St. Ed's. And we had this crazy legacy. It just happened to be that I lived 20 minutes away from this crazy legacy St. Ed's that was a multiple time national champs as high schoolers, always winning the state titles. And, I just caught to it. I wanted it. He told me, do as good as you can here, kick butt in college. And he goes, maybe one day I can get you to shake hands with Jim Ross and we'll see what happens. I went, okay. So my whole career in high school, college, I became the all-time winningest wrestler at Kent State. That was cool, but it was purely to go, when you Google me, that'll come up. And then they'll have to take me, right? Because Angle was just kicking ass at the time, and it was a reality era. And I go, this will be great. That'll get my foot in the door. And it was cool to do that, but it was purely just to put it on a resume.
And weren't you 2,482 and 0 or something?
No. Close.
But it was a good record.
It was very good. And I got away with a lot of stuff because I would do Stone Cold Stunners in practice and stuff. And I got away with a lot of different things because when I went,
you'd wear a mask.
99% of the times I won. So
did you wear a mask?
Only at parties at our house, but that's a different thing.
Whoa, eyes wide shut.
So going back to, you talking about what I was kind of going with that is right previously this you were talking about, crawling around like Shawn Michaels and watching these tapes. How did you incorporate the things that you learned in amateur wrestling into the style that you do? Did that help as well?
Really, at first, a bummer for me was I was so focused on my amateur style is where you don't sell anything. If your arm comes out of place, you try and play it off and keep going and wrestling. Right. So at first, I was, as a fan, I knew, I was taking the motions, but they're like, hey man, you got to let us in. And then once I did, I broke into letting, like, Rip Rogers style, Memphis style, like letting everybody on all four sides see some stuff.
Right.
So that kind of focused in, and I took some amateur stuff and I would apply it to, I get to do it now because Arn, who's always been on me for not using enough amateur stuff.
Because I was going to say this. Okay, go on.
Yeah, he's always on me, and every once in a while I'd forget about it because I'd have a 3-minute match or 2.5 minutes here, and you're like, we got to throw this out of here just to stand out. But I didn't want to be the guy who's, he's the college wrestler who's boring. I wanted to be the awesome wrestler who could do these, a couple submissions, a couple holds, and do things differently. So now I make it a point, and it was really cool. Arn was the enforcer the other night, and I made sure to get a couple old school cradles and my old finish from college, brother, the Neminator, we called it. Got that foot in there, and I got to like, how you like that, old man? Like, yeah, it's real wrestling, not that crap you do. It was my favorite thing I've ever done. And but he's always on because he's so good, and he sees these little pieces, and he goes, do that and stand out even more. And I go, damn it, you're right. It's such an easy thing. And just applying that is such a big deal. But it's just, the Shawn Michaels thing is like, it's a bummer because if they know you and see you as a winner, you can get away with it. Like Spear Squad, we wrestled with DX and Shawn would take a kick up. That's it. He'd bend over for backdrop. We'd kick him up and he'd crawl around for 15 minutes and everybody would be hanging from the rafters cheering for him. And we don't always have that, that's a really nice thing to have, and you don't always have that overness. So right. you grind every day and hope that they get behind it. And once they do, then you can take some, one badass thing and crawl around and almost get to your feet. And you're almost applying these, like Ricky Steamboat and Shawn all into one of, you make eye contact or you're begging for it and they get with you. And it's cool because, like I said earlier, it's getting harder and harder because they know the finish of the match. So it's getting harder and harder to do that, but I can still do it. And it's weird, go, as a bad guy bumping around, it's one thing, but when you got that sympathy as a genuine good guy, it's a little easier also.
Yeah. Well, but back to the point of Arn, wanting you to get in more of your amateur stuff. I sometimes because of, your gear, because of the hair, because of the way you bump and everything, I forget that and I know it. So seriously, it is you'll crack something out and I'm like, oh, I want more of that. If he showed me more of that as a heel, I would really hate that bastard because he looks the way he does, but he can wrestle like that when he wants to. And then you get your ass kicked and all that stuff. But I think Arn's right. I think you show them a little bit more of that. And, as you said, it's something different because you haven't shown a lot of it.
Yeah, and that's, I go, and me who's making a career out of having different things, and I go, man, I should be bragging about this, doing it more. And it gets on me, though, because I'm usually the one calling the match, unless I'm in there with you guys. I'm the one calling the shots, and they go, hey, you got a 3-minute match. Rude's got to look good. You go, great. And then Rude makes his entrance. They go, hey, you guys are down to 90 seconds. Make it good. And you go, oh, crap. And then you go, first thing that's going to go is my cradles at the beginning just because we got to get to his finish. And it's like, damn it. Okay. So, and by the way, the last, we had a 2 out of 3 falls match a couple weeks ago, which I loved. But as he was making his entrance, we lost 3 minutes of the 7 that we had. And you go, okay, what has to go? And for me, being selfless a lot of the time, it's like, man, we got to get this thing of his and he's got to look good here. I'll go, okay, we'll take out my little thing, but then we'll get to this. And it's just, and not that, as millions of people have told me for years, being more selfish, and that would really help. It would, but it doesn't make you the guy that's going to win all the time. It would get you more stuff in your match, and it just little pieces here and there just to stand out for 10 seconds. And it's such a big thing, and it's the first thing I throw out when I lose a minute or two. So I got to make a huge,
all right. So do me this solid then. Do me this solid. The next time you have a match and it doesn't get cut, just start doing some of that stuff and just know at some point I'm going to catch it. I'm going to watch it and go, oh yeah, there it is. And then just see what happens.
I promise. Even if we get cut, I'll say screw it. Take out somebody's tackle or some crap. I don't know.
I mean, what are they going to do? They're going to shoot on you? You're 8,252-0 at Kent State. They're not going to do anything.
Well, I might have had 2 or 3 losses, but yeah, they're in there.
Were we in
99 percentiles? Pretty good.
Weren't we in a 4-way elimination match or something it was for something like a world title shot or something, and it was on Raw, and our time was cut, and I was like, no, or something. I can't remember what it was. I can't remember what it was.
I think we were in the ring when it got cut, and I go, Jay, we got to cut out this top rope thing, and you go, no, it's for a fucking title shot. Are you kidding me? I go, you're right. Yep, here we go. I go, oh, we don't have time for that. He goes, kidding me? It's the title, brother. Like, yeah, all right.
And but honestly, that's part of it too. Like when I would hear, "Oh, you're cut," I'm like, "Well, it's still going to happen."
Yeah. I mean, there's certain
cut it somewhere else.
There's certain things where, even like, yeah, you're under time constraints, and even like, it's hard because there's a fine line between doing something that's good for the show and good for business, and going into business for yourself, right?
Yeah.
And you have to know which side of the line you're on. And in that instance, it was very much, look, I think somebody got hurt or something, and they had to make a quick fix for a pay-per-view that was coming up. And it was like, look, we're trying to make these 4 guys credible and make something meaningful and make it a believable, credible opponent for the world champion that's going to happen in like 3 days. So this needs to happen.
Yeah.
So, or in a week.
Absolutely, yeah. There's a million times where I've been in a cold match with Kofi, and they're like, your time's cut. I'm like, nah, screw it. We got to get to this thing. And it's like, no, that doesn't make any sense. But it's also my call. But there's been a handful of times where I was like, okay, this is a title match that was supposed to be 2 segs. It's now 6 minutes total. You know what? We're going to go a minute heavy, and someone else is going to have to, take for it. So I've done that a few times where you go, okay, what match is it? A random cold match? This is not my spot to take from the main event.
Yeah.
But then you catch those, hey, this is supposed to be 2 out of 3 falls, and then you're down to 5.5 minutes. You go, man, we might go 6.5. I'm going to apologize in advance. We got some stuff to do to make this credible and meaningful. And to be fair, there was a couple times with title matches, and I came to the back, and I was told, you can't just do whatever the hell you want. And I go, listen, I take full responsibility. Sometimes I'm to say always I'm thinking for the match, not myself. But, sometimes, the boss might not exactly agree with you thinking the match means more. So.
Yeah. So now let's take a little look back at your entire career here. Okay. So as we talked about, caddy, cheerleader, you go to 3 practices a day to try and hone your craft and all of these things. You've gone all the way from there to 2-time world champion. You're wrestling John Cena in a ladder match in Barclays, and you go over your Money in the Bank winner. You've kind of run the full gamut in terms of what you can kind of do in the business. And I think Jay's the same way. I'm the same way. You have Jericho's the same way. Miz is now the same way. There's a few guys that Sheamus is that way, where there's not much left to do. So what do you want to do?
It's a good question. And about 2.5 years ago, I was debating going, I don't know what I have left here. I can keep helping people out, but I feel like a lot of my cries are falling on deaf ears to either have a change or kind of go away for a couple months, and it wasn't happening. So I go, okay, when this one's up, I'm out of here for now. Just purely, like, I love it. They treat me well. They pay me well. I travel in Jay knows how I travel, with a little bottle of Tito's. They know I travel comfortably, and it's great. And I go, but man, there's just something where I go, it's great. And I get on the live events, I get to do whatever the hell I want, and it's awesome and fun. And I go, I feel like I need to go away. I hate that I have to go away, but I have to. And about 2.5 years ago, this happened. And I said, listen, thanks for everything. I got to get the hell out of here. You guys won't give me a couple months off to just have them forget that I lose 99 times out of 100. I just need them to forget. I don't need to win a bunch. I need them to forget. And they would say no. And I go, okay, I'm going to have to do it myself then. And 2.5 years ago, I went to do it, and they asked me to stay and help out. And I said, all right, I'm in. So I have a very short amount of time left to figure out if I want to do that again, or if there's something to reach for. All I can reach for is, having fun-ass matches and tearing it down on the weekends, because it doesn't seem to be a specific great prize to be reaching for here that I can attain. So you can be patted on the back and told, you're our guy, you're our Shawn Michaels, you're so good at this, we can't do this without you. But then watch a bunch of people not in that position kind of just coast right by. So there's no feelings hurt. This is a show business thing where it's like, I love it. And in a very short time, I have to decide if I need to go away or go do my own thing or find a different role here, because gatekeeper is a great spot for someone who hasn't been world champion, who doesn't excel at 7 out of the 8 possible things that you can do here as a sports entertainer. And it's really weird that I can't get more, but trust me when I say I'm knocking on the door every other day and almost demanding it. So we will see what happens in the next very short while. But I'd love to keep doing this just at a different level. And I need to know that the company's on my side with taking it to another level to give back and help at a better level.
And if you don't feel like that is going to be the case, do you have an idea of what you want to do if not?
I have some really cool. I've been doing things with Fox News and Fox Business that I really enjoy, and I got to get their attention because of like the social media following I have through WWE. And I've been going and doing. I actually about to have a recurring segment on Fox Business, which is friggin' awesome.
That's cool.
Because I had political science background. That's what I graduated with. I love it. I follow it, and usually have a way to find out whatever happened that day and compare it to an episode of The Simpsons or Seinfeld or something, and make it fun so people know, have a laugh at some stuff. So I have some meetings coming up along those lines, and it would be great to be able to do both.
What if you did your Fox Business interviews in the promos we used to cut on the town? Oh, something's happening over here in Jonesboro, brother. Oh, they took it.
Jonesboro?
I don't know.
I thought you were going to say as Bookman from Seinfeld. That's what I was waiting for.
Now that'd be money. I would DVR that every time you were on.
Listen up, Joy Boys.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never really been into politics. Rock and roll was never my bag, but but you've also been pretty. And I've actually come and seen. I went and saw you do. I haven't really seen you do a stand up, but I've come and seen you do an improv show. So tell us about the stand up stuff and how that's going. Are you still pretty active with that? And it's funny to me because like listening to you, like watching you when I was traveling with you, kind of study it, and you're writing down jokes and stuff like that, and texting jokes and back and forth with other comedians and stuff like that, and really taking it seriously, right? Like it's much like, to me, it's like when somebody is a big guy and wants to be a wrestler, it's like, well, that looks easy. I could do that. I'm a big guy. It's almost like comedians make it look so easy. Like, I'm kind of a funny guy. I could do that. But it's not like that at all, right? It's super, super like a hard thing to do. Like, what is your take on how you kind of figured it out once you got going with it?
Yeah, it's really, and so I'm a nerd for it since I was watching the old Saturday Night Live on Nick at Night when I was like 8 years old and not understanding what the bees were doing or knowing anything that was going on. But I was a nerd for it and loving it. And so I knew, because once again of my social media stuff through WWE, I was bumping into people who were doing stand up full time or touring the world or doing anything. And I would make jokes back and forth, and I would weasel into comedy shows that I had no business being on. But in the sense of, you could get somebody from, you can get one of the Real Housewives of North Carolina or whatever the hell, and they could be like, they'll put some butts in the seat and they'll come to the show and they'll kind of just do it. Like, hey, look, I got paid and I'm here and I'm on the show that I shouldn't be on. But I was almost like here with WWE, where there's a chip on my shoulder. I go, hey, I'm out to prove that I'm not supposed to be on the show, but I take this very seriously, and I've been, writing jokes for 15 years to try and get 90 seconds of material here. Yeah. So every day I'm texting back and forth, and through that I made relationships with comics and all these different people who are in entertainment, and we throw ideas back and forth. So to where I want to say about 2 months ago, I got to open for a friend of mine, Katie Quigley. She's a cool comic in LA, and we just met from telling jokes online and through other comics, and she was doing 5 nights in a row, and I got to open for her. And just because she goes, oh my God, you're funny, they know that I'm taking it seriously, and it's not just, hey, this guy has a bunch of Twitter followers, so he's going to get some butts in the seat. Yeah. They know that there's such a crazy, I force myself on my days off to just sit in my backyard, no phone, no nothing, and just whatever happened in my head and write a few jokes and fine tune them. And we're driving, and I'm taking things and writing it down. And I got up to, I'm trying to think, maybe a solid 12 minutes. And
Wow.
I was proud of half of it. And it was crazy. And and it's because you can get it there. And by the way, that's a really long time. You can do a whole.
I know, because I just finished Seinfeld documentary from like 90, maybe 7. The comedian, I think it is.
Oh yeah,
It has Orny Adams in it too, and it's like on like an old camcorder, and it's all grainy. But it really lets you in to how hard, how tortured, how neurotic comedians almost have to be and are. It's similar to wrestling in a lot of respects.
It's very similar. My first ever show, I got on because I met a wrestling fan online who's a comedian and who was doing a show, and I got on there, and they go, "Okay, cool. You're not really supposed to be here, so we'll put you on, and you're going to go after Andy Kindler." So it was a bunch of young kids, and Andy Kindler, if you don't know, is a guy who's been around. I want to say 40 years of comedy, and he's been around a really long time. He's an old pro, and everyone else is doing like 6 minutes, and he's going to do as long as he wants because he's him, and they're happy to have him there. But then I got to follow him, and it's like, so he does like 15, and I am shaking walking up to the microphone. It's a little, I'm trying to think, where the hell were you? Silver Lake, California, behind, like in the back room of a coffee shop with about 60 people sitting on little chairs. And I'm walking to the microphone, shaking, going, "Don't drop the mic, don't drop the mic." And like waiting to get my first sentence out, and like so nervous, not smooth. It's like your first wrestling match, and I was waiting to tag in, and I was like, "Oh my God, get in there, grab an arm, get in there, grab an arm," You're really freaked out, but it's such a rush and exciting. And so I said my first sentence, and it seems like 2 minutes goes by of silence. And I go, "Oh my God, what am I doing up here?"
Huh.
And then I hear a laugh, and it had been like 1 second. And I go, "Oh, thank God." So I go into the next sentence, and I look over, and Andy Kindler, who's this old vet, he's up against the wall, and he's laughing at something I just said. And I go, "Holy crap, what? Okay, I can get through this." And I was doing like 4 minutes. And it seems like it lasted forever, and I got out of there, and I go, it was and you get off, and it's that rush of, like I had the other night at Greensboro when everything was just clicking, it was fun, and you go, "Oh my God, I can go back and fix this," and then you get back to the locker room, and Andy Kindler would be like, in this case, like the Undertaker of the locker room, where everyone's huddled around him, and he's giving advice to people and helping people out and holding court, and it was really, really cool. I go, man, our lives are all pretty similar. We're always focusing on something. We all want to be better, and scratching and clawing, and I go, and it was such a thing that I go, I want to do that again, and I want it to be better, and you just keep going and going.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And it's fun too, right? I mean, it's a different outlet, and like when we in the ring, we get that instant feedback, and there's a rush about it. It becomes like our drug, right? Like you kind of crave it, but it's also, it's one of those things where it can't last forever. It's like the shelf life of any athlete. But the cool thing about comedy is you could do that for as long as you want to do it.
Yeah, you really can, and then you just keep getting better. Yeah, I would say us, if there's the athleticism involved, like you have to slowly start, fading away at some point. You guys know science all the time. You're like, "Oh, I didn't get good till I was 20 years in," and you're like, "Wait, what?" You're like, "Oh God, okay." Yeah. So I'm part-time doing this. Anytime, it's so great. I have a couple friends that are like, "Any chance you're in LA next weekend?" And I go, "Well, I'm off till Saturday. I can get there Friday and fly back, and it's just any chance I can get 3 minutes somewhere, I go do it." Because you want to get 10,000 reps in. That's how you become a good wrestler. I'm on like 30 stand-up wise, 30 sets of 3 minutes. And it's like, okay, get there if you can and just keep, just doing those 3 practices a day, basically, but the equivalent of stand-up. And it is that instant hearing a laugh or knowing something didn't hit and your face goes red. And it's like, snaps you out of it and you go, yeah, it's not that easy. Get them back. And then it's like, great.
But also there's something to be said about having the fear of failing too, right? Like that's a different rush, and it's very real. And I always and I said, I've never done a stand-up set, but I know like from wrestling in front of a live audience, but there's always that little fear of failing. And when there's that pressure, I always seem to work better under pressure. And I think people that compete and do things at a high level work better under pressure. Would you say that's the case with comedy as well?
Absolutely. And something that just popped in my head is I was dating someone for a while, and I was popping around New York City, and she was hitting, 10 minutes here, 10 minutes here, and we were just hopping on a train and zipping around, and she was doing like 6 shows in a night. And this go-to joke that I had heard 3 other times that night, kill, got silent. And I saw her go, oh. And then she goes, hang on, and went back and was like, F you guys, and had him like crying, laughing, because it was like, you not caught up in just that rhythm, but you're just like, this works. Oh my God, it didn't work. I'll show you how damn good I am. I'm going to make this awesome. And it's like you come back from it, and it's that much bigger. It's so cool.
Huh.
Yeah, and we won't ask who that was.
Yeah. I've got a good opening too, by the way, if you need it. Do you know where I'm going with it?
I think so. What do you got?
Well, do you know it? Maybe I've already told it to you.
I forget.
It was.
Hang on. Should we welcome you to the stage?
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome to the stage. A good friend of mine, a very funny guy, and he is so much richer than all of you. Jay.
Well, hey everyone. Good looking crowd over here tonight. Yes, I am richer than most of you. Actually, all of you.
Yeah.
So I went home to see my folks this past week. That's always a good time, huh? That's my opening.
Anytime that a joke ends with "huh,"
but it's probably not going to be funnier to anybody but us. But that was whenever he was writing jokes, I would always tell him that opening. And be like, hey, you should open it with this. So
I forgot that you probably told me that 87 times.
Yeah. How was my opening though? Was it pretty good?
It was pretty. You sounded really comfortable, and you could relate to us poorer people. It was great.
Yeah.
You're the everyman.
I should have showed him my $10,000 watch.
Whoa, not too close. Nice try, poor guy.
Oh, good times. Well, we've kept you for a long time.
We've kept you like an hour and change now, and I know you got fancy people to meet and you know, all that good stuff. So
damn right.
We'll let you go and go shine somebody up tonight.
You know what? Just for that, I won't, you idiot.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yeah. Speaking of that,
go in and amateur wrestler their ass.
We're cut on time? I can pin him in 3 seconds. Let's go. All right. Wait, what? That is so mean.
And then when you're done, get showered up, get ready, grab your bag, walk out and be later, Marks, and hit him with a little finger snap and head out.
I still tend to say
follow
that.
And later, Marks.
I used to go later, Marks. I got to swear, people used to go uncomfortable, and then now they just laugh and go, okay, later, man.
Yeah.
You guys, and Tommy maintaining brother, passing it on to the locker room. It is. I have not so much as a joke, but we just got so used to it. We have almost brought it back full circle at all times. Hey brother. How you doing? So not stay on the phone with his wife.
Brother.
What's up, brother? Not like that, but like.
I used to do that just to pop the guys in the car.
Oh my God, it's the best. But we've genuinely brought it back to the locker room. I would say about 90% of us at all times are properly using it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yes.
Cool, man. Well, good to talk to you. Thanks for jumping on with us. You are, no matter what happens, you're one of the best in-ring performers of I'm going to say all the time. I think that you're definitely one of the most genuinely talented guys, and it's an art form to be able to go in there and make anybody look good. And you've had an amazing career, so whatever.
Thanks a lot, bro. Yeah, whatever. So
whatever.
What the hell? Yeah, whatever. So I'll expect like a check in the mail, or I don't know how this works, but yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah.
Later, Mark.
I gave it to the kid to give to you.
Okay, good. Yeah, he'll
it's in his laptop case.
It'll be in his laptop. Yeah. Oh God.
All right, man.
All right, thanks, guys. Take it easy.
Birdman, that was good. That was fun. It was good to talk to old Dolsky again. It's been a little bit. We randomly, and this will make no sense to anyone, but him and I randomly send each other videos of ourselves drinking stupidly expensive water,
Oh,
to which it has been now done in slow-mo with music, with graphics, in different cities, with Tokyo landscape behind. I mean, ridiculousness.
Oh, be careful your
Don't know why
iCloud
I just-
doesn't get. Be careful your iCloud doesn't get hacked, brother. You don't want those pictures getting out. Those little videos.
Don't want that Voss to be seen
Yeah.
being, ingested, right, brother?
Yeah, yeah.
There's
Throwing away
nothing
your money.
racy or there's nothing scandalous about it. It's just a couple of idiots drinking water. But sure, okay.
Yeah. No, but no, good dude, man. Like I said, I rode with him for the last few years of my career there, and we got pretty close. He's a good dude, ultra talented guy. And it's like I said, you can't take away the track record that he has in the ring against people of any talent level. So I think he'll go down as one of the best in ring, and I think that's how he'll be remembered whenever his time is up in the business. And hopefully it's not anytime too soon, because I think he's still got a lot to offer, and he'll continue to be one of the best for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I wholeheartedly agree. It's why I wanted to work him as badly as I did, kind of on my way out before I retired without knowing I had to retire. And just uber talented, almost, if this is possible, to a detriment at times. When you get so good at bumping and taking people's finishes, does it become, that, Dolph will make it look good. But it shouldn't be. And as I said, you look at his track record. He's a two-time world champion. He's done everything there is to do in the business. Multiple-time Intercontinental champion. I think he's been tag team champion in the squad, brother. So
it's a real thing too, right? And I think we touched upon it when we were in the conversation, that sometimes when you're as good as him, and I've gone through it, and you've gone through it at times too, where you get
By the
labeled.
way, you sound like such a dick saying that.
No, I'm just saying, like, guys are joking. I mean, I'm saying it's.
No, I'm joking. I'm busting your chops.
I don't need to tell people how good I was. They know. And if you didn't, I'll just remind you again. But like, it's a very real thing, right? Where sometimes the powers that be or whoever, they don't even mean it to be that way. It just sometimes things change to day of or up to the minute, and you're like, oh, well, this guy's so good, no matter what, he'll be okay. Let's focus on this. And it doesn't mean to be that way, but it just ends up that way. And sometimes when you're as good as him, you can always keep yourself, whether you're losing or not. And I know he talked about a lot on this, but he's so good that when you lose, it does matter, but it doesn't, because you're so good. You know what I mean? And I think that sometimes it's a tough position to be stuck in, because it does happen, and it doesn't always mean for it to happen or whatever, but it's just kind of, it gets passed over and passed over and passed over, and but at some point you can't deny talent, and the guy's talented, and at some point it's they're gonna have to go all the way, I think.
Well, I mean, they've gone pretty far, but have they fully let it get into fifth, where he could really, or sixth if he's driving a Jaguar, a 12-cylinder. That's all I know about cars, basically. But here's hoping, man. And like you said, maybe sometimes it's do the Jericho and just take a little trip away and just refresh, recharge, get the body feeling a little better. All of those things come back, and absence makes
again.
the heart, grow fonder. Who knows? But it'll be exciting to see. And no matter what happens, he's made a dent on the industry, and that's all you can ask for at the end of the day. When it's all said and done, it's like, okay, I can look back on that and go, damn, I did all that. There you go, bird.
There you go. I wasn't even a bird. I was just like high pitched.
No, I don't know what. That was your Bono falsetto there.
Well, I'm kind of like, man, I don't like to get into this too much, because everybody knows how good I am at wrestling. I don't want to seem like I'm really bragging. It's like, I'm like Mariah Carey. I have all these different octaves I can get to, Yeah. And, I'm not going to do it, but.
No. You wouldn't, people could get so excited. Hearts would explode.
Yeah.
All right, Bert. I gotta go. I gotta go relieve the sitter. Because I'm a dad.
Oh, you gotta get out of here, Edge. Oh, you gotta get that sitter to walk the line, brother. Oh, you don't come back here no more, Jack. And if you do, you're gonna get beat down by the big Edge-a-Rooney. Oh, brother.
Well, you're grasping that. You got nothing right now. That's what that means. All right, you suck. Don't even bother. Don't even bother, baby. Just take it as it is and just walk on down the line like Dusty would.
Oh, they want to hear Krusty Rhodes, do they? Oh, Krusty's back. Oh, Krusty Rhodes is back to talk to you right now, Daddy. Oh, we're gonna relieve you from the end of the E&C
Matt,
pod.
just end the pain. End it. Just unplug them.
Krusty Rhodes is out. Here we go.